Okay, P Street Garage. I'm back out on my cruise with issues, and this time not so much an issue, I don't think, but it's something I want to check. And it's got to do with the, let me get some better light on here. This car obviously is the 1.4 liter Ecotec turbo engine, and apparently I did a little bit of reading, and here obviously is the turbo, and this is the heat shield or cover. There is a small oil feed line that feeds this turbo. It's very tiny. You can see it right here. I don't know if you can see that or not, maybe. Anyway, there's a small oil feed line, and apparently this is prone to getting plugged. So I was doing quite a bit of reading, and a lot of people recommend taking this off and checking it. Because as you know, a turbo with no oil will not spin for very long. So I've never had this off before. So let's pop this off just to see if we can blow some air through. Give us an idea if it's plugged or restricted or if it's perfectly fine. This car does have 200,000 kilometers, so kind of getting up there for one of these. So let's take this cover off and have a look at those, or have a look at that line in particular. Okay, so I got this heat shield off. It was simply three 8mm bolts, and I just used a socket for the multi-point. So that heat shield came off. Then there is a, where is it? There's a bolt down here, 8mm multi-point, same size again. And if you follow the line over here, there's a banjo bolt arrangement. I'm not sure if this is an Allen key or one of these Torx bits. I shoved that Torx bits in there and it seems to be taking it out. This is a, what is it? Well, there it is there. I can't even see that. I can't even read that. Anyway, it is coming out quite good. So a banjo bolt that'll have, if it's anything like industrial application, it'll have dowty seals, one on each side. Just want to pop this hose off. Try to blow through it. Make sure that my turbo is getting oil. Kind of a critical thing. And apparently it's kind of recommended to do this at your oil changes. Now, this is my first turbo car. Sounds fancy, but there's nothing fancy about this little runabout. Okay, let me put this camera down. I'm going to finish off this one here, and I'm going to try to pull this hose out and see what we find. Okay, so here's this little piece of pipe. One end has a couple of O-rings. The other end is a banjo bolt arrangement with a seal on either side of this fitting. So I gave this a wipe, and it is a Torx style head, T45, and so I wiped this to the best of my ability. Let's blow into this, see if it's plugged. Well, I don't know if you heard that, but that is clear. Clear, so should get lots of oil flow. And apparently some of these come with this little shielding on it, and so maybe this has been an upgrade since they added this, I believe, later to try to prevent it's to sort of keep the heat away, because I guess the heat right by the manifold will cake that oil in there. So nice and clear. I blew through this. No problem at all. Yeah, let's stick this back in. And obviously, I'm not renewing it. Ideally, I would, because apparently these are not that expensive. But I'm just going to stick this back in for now. And if I look down in here, I can see, looks like lots of oil. I just was poking around in there. Lots of oil in that turbo. So let's get this reinstalled. And I'm going to add, before you take this off, I had clean this off to the best of my abilities. There is a lot of crud accumulated there, so the cleaner the better, so nothing falls in that hole. And well, while I'm here also, This is the smallest engine I've ever owned. Well, this is my son's car, but I mean, look at this exhaust manifold. Look at my hand beside it. This is tiny, tiny, tiny. You're dealing with very, very, very small gear here. Anyway, let's get this line back on. A little bit of preventative maintenance. And yeah, good to know. Good information to know.